Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of East Carolina University where a fraternity is under investigation again. Phi Kappa is located at 409 Elizabeth Street in Greenville. University officials confirm the fraternity has been placed on interim suspension by both ECU and its national organization while allegations are reviewed. The suspension, which began last Wednesday, prohibits the chapter from holding any activities until further notice. According to ECU, campus officials are investigating the latest hazing reports. This is not the first time the fraternity has faced disciplinary action. In 2018, the fraternity was suspended after authorities seized drugs from the fraternity house. The chapter was later recolonized in spring of 2023 and allowed to return to campus under strict oversight. Some students say hazing has no place in college life. ECU student Jarvey Bailey said, quote, "Nah, not at all. That junk sounds like, I don't even know. That initiation stuff is weird. The whole objective of that is just weird in itself," end quote. Now, the suspension comes as a new federal law changes how hazing incidents are reported nationwide. The Stop Campus Hazing Act, which took effect January 1st, now requires colleges and universities to include hazing reports in their public crime and fire logs, even if the allegations have not been substantiated. Earlier this year, we reported on hazing allegations made in February that were later deemed unsubstantiated in April at the same fraternity house. ECU officials say federal privacy laws prevent them from releasing details about individual student cases. However, the university's Prevent Hazing website provides information, resources, and confidential reporting options for students. Phi Kappa Tau will remain on interim suspension until ECU completes its investigation. To read their full statement on hazing, you can find it on our website, WITN.com. And now we want to turn our attention to a fire that has now 2 people injured, a vehicle fire that happened earlier today. This is a crash and the scene of the crash that happened in Greene County. Authorities say a car hit a motorcycle shortly after 8 a.m. at the intersection of US 258 and Jim Grant Road, just outside of Snow Hill. Troopers say 17-year-old Nancy Hughes of Snow Hill was making a left turn onto US 258 while the motorcycle was heading south on the highway. It was driven by 48-year-old Christopher Johnson of Kinston. Now, Johnson was thrown from his motorcycle, which then caught fire. He then was taken to ECU Health Medical Center, while Hughes was taken to UNC Lenore Healthcare. The crash remains under investigation, according to troopers. And now for your weather forecast. Again, we continue to watch a cold front get closer and closer to eastern North Carolina. Clearly not here yet, but it is going to be bringing rain showers. That is the crash. I do apologize. Bringing rain showers back to eastern North Carolina. Again, rain showers right now along the coast. Not all that impressive. Yeah, we're seeing maybe a few drops come down across down East Carteret County, but for the most part, the heavy rain that we are tracking won't be here until we get to Wednesday afternoon to Wednesday evening. Over that time period, that's when we're going to be seeing a cold front roll in, and unfortunately it looks like that cold front may be impacting our weather beyond just Wednesday and Thursday. Could hold some sway over our weather pattern over this coming weekend. Right now, 81 degrees in Greenville feels like 81 degrees thanks to dew points dropping now down into the almost mid-50s. Right now, a 57-degree dew point in Greenville feels pretty good. An east-southeasterly wind currently blowing in at about 5 miles an hour. Now, the rest of eastern North Carolina, pretty much same story. Some areas closer to the water are certainly seeing more in terms of humidity, but less in terms of heat. Now, it's not going to again be getting sweltering anytime soon. We are likely done with the 90s for the rest of the year. I'm going to knock on wood while I say that. Northeasterly wind across the northern Outer Banks right now is more easterly for more inland areas, but wind speeds right now generally around 6 to 12 miles an hour. Some areas a little bit outside that range, but humidity continuing to dip and that is good news for those of you wanting to, again, avoid severe weather. Now, the more that humidity dips, the less rain we will end up seeing, but rain is not a part of the forecast for today. It is certainly coming up for Wednesday and Thursday. Over that 2-day stretch, we will be watching this cold front roll in. You can see it there on your screen. It's that big line further back towards the west. Now, the area of low pressure you're seeing across Louisiana and Arkansas, that low pressure system will merge with that stronger cold front further back towards the west, and that will essentially just create kind of a wall of water that will be moving through the eastern half of the country as we head through the middle of this week. You again see it approaching eastern North Carolina by the time we get to, we'll call it Wednesday evening, anywhere between around 5 to 8 p.m. on Wednesday. That front will be moving across eastern North Carolina by 9 a.m. It should be set up over the mountains, if not making its way over the mountains. And after that, the front, it's going to sink a little bit further southward of us and then stall there. It will sit there coming up Thursday and Friday. And as it sits, another area of low pressure is expected to form along that boundary. Now, trying to figure out exactly how strong that system is going to be, the one that develops along that boundary, is going to be very important. The stronger it gets, the more impactful it will be for our weekend forecast. Right now, we've got a 40% chance of rain tacked onto both Saturday as well as Sunday. You'll note that both of those days, again, are mum-fest days, but we are going to be tracking, again, a low-pressure system that could create some heavier downpours at times, but also strong winds. Wind gusts, again, are going to be increasing coming up from Friday into Saturday and then Sunday, something, of course, Mumfest goers will want to be aware of. Now, is this all set in stone? Not quite just yet. What we do know is that that cold front on Wednesday is going to be working its way across the east. After that, it will slow down and stall. That stalling pattern really reduces our exposure to severe weather coming in on Wednesday, but it does not solve our issue of, again, a potential low pressure system off of our coast, creating wetter and windier conditions for this upcoming weekend. That part of the forecast, again, still very much up in the air. If that low does decide to form along that frontal boundary, but then maybe it tries to scoot its way out a little bit closer to Cape Hatteras, that will do many inland areas quite a few favors by reducing wind and reducing rain. But right now, again, it's something we do want to first alert you to, is that aspect of windy and wet, rainy conditions for both Saturday as well as Sunday. Hopefully the models change, but for right now, that is the latest from, again, just the general weather world. But that's all we have time for today's 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at 3 o'clock. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Monday. We'll see you back here at 3.